Hey YouTube and vinyl community, what's going on? It's LJ, TGIF. What a week. Time to decompress. Time to spin some tunes, share some vinyl, and get some thoughts, comments, and feedback. Huge thanks to all the new subscribers over the last week or so. Welcome to the channel. Let's take a look at some stuff I've picked up in the last week. First, I wanted to chat a little bit about a trade and some VCLT. Garner, who is GarageRockTruckStop here on YouTube, and I have been sending some vinyl back and forth, and Garner flipped over a handful of records my way. I've got a chance to listen to them, and man, they're just great. So, Garner, thank you so much. I know we've already talked. Guys, here's what they are. So, first was Grinder Switch in their debut from 1974 on Capricorn. This is just good old dirty southern rock, man. This was music to my ears. Garner, you hit the nail on the head with this one. You have some members from the Allman Brothers Band contributing here. It's just good old down-home southern rock. Highly recommended. As is Mama's Pride. Look at these guys all in the mama's living room. Good boys. Until you swing to the bedroom. Check out the twins here. This is just fantastic. I mean, if Grinder Switch was good, this was great. This is from 1975. This is on Atco, and this is just an absolutely phenomenal record. A little more funk to the southern rock in this one, but still just amazing. See, also we had what Garner called, Garner's great at writing one paragraph and just, you get all the information you need. I can't do that. This is what he referred to as quasi-glam, kind of like a David Bowie and an Ian Hunter in the Steve Gibbons band. I'm not exactly sure how to put my finger on this just yet. It was definitely some great rock and roll, though, I'll give it that. This one warrants a few more listens on MCA. I'm only giving this a couple of cursory spins so far, but it was just brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I can pick up the Bowie, not influence, but parallel here, definitely. And it was a great album. I'll definitely spin that more. And this one, first of all, I have to tell you, I listened to those three, and then I put on this. So Garner knows I have a soft spot for new wave and post-punk and synth-pop. Actually, I hate the post-punk word. So Garner put in a promotional copy of Wire Train in a Chamber. I had not heard of this. He mentioned it was kind of patented British sound, post-punk kind of stuff. And man, this was just absolutely fantastic. This is a lot like the Stabilizers LP I had gotten by way of Dwayne Lazarus not that long ago, but a little darker. Just great stuff. Doing some research on the internet like we all do when we listen before we come on here and spout off our facts. Bono from U2 had picked this as his favorite record of 1984, and it's easy to see why. Absolutely fantastic. All four of them are happy editions, and they'll get lots of spins. Garner, thank you so much. So, what's playing in the background? Well, winter must be coming, because winter gets me into, I always end up pulling David Gilmour's solo LP right around when winter sets in, and I don't know if it's the parallel with the Snowy cover. This is by Hypnosis. I've had this album for years, and this is absolutely fantastic. Love this album. Inevitably, it gets me going into Pink Floyd. So that's what's on right now. It's Momentary Lapse of Reason, which is a brilliant Pink Floyd record. I love it. Roger Waters or not, I love it. I was talking to Greeno22, Todd, about Pink Floyd today, and unfortunately I had to throw him out of the Pink Floyd club. He finally had to admit he doesn't like them as much as I do, so I had to take his membership card away. Sorry about that. You can still come over and listen, though. You can get your card back. And what was cool was I had just recently found a Pink Floyd, I'm just going to say it's a grail. There's two kind of grails in here. And the first is this. This is a Pink Floyd bootleg. This is Pink Floyd The Wall, the film soundtrack. Now this is very different from this, which is The Wall, as this has additional excerpts from the movie. It was never officially released, and I've only ever seen one of these. And it was too high priced to pick up. It's got pretty cool custom labels, and this has a lot of different clips from the movie, you know, like the little boy that Santa Claus forgot, and a Christmas caroling from the beginning of the movie, which then kicks into In the Flesh. So it follows the movie straight through, which of course the album does not, because the album came before the movie. Of course, we all know that. And then this being the actual soundtrack from the film, which was never officially released. and that makes this a bootleg. So this is definitely a low-lying grail. I wouldn't say it's one of the finds of my lifetime, but it's definitely something I've looked for a long time. It rarely ever comes up. I've only seen one other in the last 4 or 5 years out in the wild. So I was very, very happy to find this. Got it for a very reasonable price. I have a couple creases in the top corner, but the vinyl is just near mint. And I couldn't be happier. I've looked for that for such a long time. It came at a great time. Grail back-to-back with Grail, White Lion's main attraction. This is another album that I think is just brilliant. White Lion, for me, was at the top of their game at this point. They had really learned how to play, really learned how to bring their instruments together. Lights and Thunder is an amazing song. This is on Atlantic. This is a BMG pressing. And like a lot of albums from, what, 1991, BMG and Columbia House just ended up being the way to get them. They were just going out in stores. So this was fantastic and definitely a bit of a grail. Pavlov's Dog is another one I've looked for quite a while. I stumbled on this in an antique mall last week. I think it was maybe $3 or $4. Pavlov's Dog was mid-70s, kind of like a prog hard rock that can kind of fit somewhere in between the two. Really, really, really good album. They have one more that they released before they broke up, and there's just there's some great history behind the parties these guys threw. But that was absolutely fantastic. I've never seen another copy. I was very happy to find it. This is one of only 2 Styx albums I was missing. I still need their first LP, actually. But Man of Miracles, I did not have. What a great cover. I have to be honest with you, it's not my favorite album, and I don't think the album is as good as the cover. It's a later RCA press, but I'm still happy to add it to the Six and Family collection. Here is Rex, and More Than a Guy with an Afro. Rex is a hard rocker. Now, I have seen Punk Texas play Rex in the past and kind of kept a loose eye out for it. And when I stumbled on it, this is from 1976, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, I had to pick it up. And it's really good. It really, really just has a great 70s rock vibe to it. I mean, if you dig that stuff, don't miss it. It's super, super good album. You know what? I haven't listened to this yet, but I found it and it's just so damn cheesy looking, I had to show it. I actually sent Greeno a picture of this when I came across, and he'd never heard of it either. It's called the Brian McDonald Group, Desperate Business. When I first saw this, BMG Delivers, I thought this was a hype sticker from the music club, not realizing it was Brian McDonald Group, BMG. So I have not listened to this yet. This is a promo copy, gold stamp promo, you see in the back, from 1987. It looks alright. It looks like 80s metal at its absolute worst, but I don't know. If anybody knows more than I do about this, drop me a comment. Just like anyone else, all I ask is that you don't copy and paste anything off the internet, because I'll find that on my own. If you know it, if you've heard it, if you've have it, drop me a line. I'd love to hear it, because eventually it'll be on the turntable. Here is Piper. I finally managed to find a copy of this in the wild. Unfortunately, it's got quite a bit of ring wear, but the vinyl itself is in great, great shape. Piper, I just love. Of course, Piper being Billy Squire's band before he went off and started a solo career. Piper released 2 LPs. This is the second of the 2, or the first of the 2, I'm sorry. And I actually got a copy for VCLT from Greeno of their other album, Can't Stop. So I've been looking for this for a while. This showed up for, I think, $2. So I just went ahead and grabbed it. You know, sooner or later, a clean cover copy will show up, and we'll grab that. That was absolutely excellent. Here's a Deep Purple album I did not have. I've had this on CD and cassette for a long time, but House of Blue Light was from 1985. This followed Perfect Strangers. That rock lineup returning, and Perfect Strangers was very successful, so they didn't hesitate to go ahead and record another one right away. The thing is, I don't see this one often. I see Perfect Strangers all the time. House of Blue Light I almost never see. And look at that lineup. Richie Blackmore, Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, John Lord, rest in peace, Ian Tice. Wow. Wow. And this is amazing. I have to go on record as saying I know this very well from the CD, from the cassette. It just sounds different on vinyl. I know it all does, but there's some that just unbelievable when you drop the needle. The clarity, the sound, the tone, the warmth, yada, yada, yada. Unreal. That was a great find. I was very happy with that. This is kind of neat. I've never seen this. This is Music for the Millions, the best from Tommy's The Who. This has a great picture. I'm a big Who fan, and I loved this picture of the band. And this, right away, it wasn't a US press. It's too flimsy. And it turns out that this is from the Netherlands. So a Dutch press, and it's not excerpts from, but it's selections from Tommy, which of course I have a couple copies of on vinyl. And this is, I guess, their interpretation of what are the best, 11 songs from Tommy. I can't say I disagree. It's pretty well done. It's got a good track list. It's like Tommy abbreviated. Tommy, can you hear me? No, because only half of you is in there. It was a neat find. I think it was $2. Here's Head East, another one for the late 70s rock collection. This was fantastic. This is from 1978 on A&M. I can't say anything about this other than it's stuck firmly somewhere between 70s hard rock and 80s AOR, with a few keyboards here and there. But man, did it rock hard. It was excellent. I know they have a couple more albums out, so if you dig 70s rock, find Head East. And the last one I've been spinning, this is Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. I've had a US press of this for years, but working with Eli, NB Drummer, YouTube user NB Drummer, we had done some trades back and forth recently, and Eli said, hey, I have a UK press of that on NEMS. I know you love that album. Do you want it? So I put together a handful of albums for him for me, and here is a UK press of Hair of the Dog, which is just a fantastic ad. It's in great shape. It sounds great, and I love this album. So Eli, thank you again for like the 5th time. So that is it from me. Up next, look for my Beatles collection. I've been asked a few times just in the past week to show that. I think I'm finally just going to break down and do it at the risk of misinformation and everything. But we'll just see where it goes. I have a lot of them pulled, sorted out. We'll kind of throw them up on screen. We'll go from there and we'll see what happens. But I'm off to catch some more videos from folks in the vinyl community. I hope everyone's doing well. Everybody have a great weekend. Catch you soon. Ciao.